So we have some very important updates that we need to get to today on Tuesday, April 29th. What's happening is there are changes that we are going through as a country. We are seeing businesses lay off employees. We're seeing some sellers of products are not going to sell their products any longer. And Canada just went through a pretty big election that is going to dictate what President Trump is able to do. We're going to break that down as well in today's video. I want to also talk about what the Trump administration just did yesterday. There was a major executive order that was signed. I told you this was coming, and well, it did. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, explain what is happening and how we will likely be impacted here in the near future. So make sure you stick around and watch this entire video, and I'll explain everything. But first, I do ask one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So today we have a little bit of a different video for you because I want to cover a bunch of different topics, all of which, in my opinion, are extremely important. Here's the first one. It says UPS to cut 20,000 jobs after Amazon breakup. It says package giant shrinking workforce and closing facilities after shift away from biggest customer. What you've probably seen recently is there's more and more Amazon delivery drivers. They're actually driving around in the Amazon vans. And this is because Amazon is opening up distribution centers in many cities. Before, it was just in the bigger cities. Those are their hubs. And they were taking their products and shipping it to their hubs. Those hubs would deliver it to UPS, and that would act as the final delivery carrier. Well, not any longer. Now, Amazon's trying to cut costs. Amazon wants to be the one that is truly pretty much from start to finish carrier. They're not just going to hand it off. Well, that's going to impact UPS. It's also going to impact FedEx. We've seen the breakup from the United States Postal Service already. So it's just a matter of time before UPS sees Amazon just completely go away. Then, and this is a concern, Amazon's going to have the leverage where Amazon could actually go and deliver packages for other companies. Maybe they decide to deliver packages for Walmart and Target and Costco. What happens then? Well, bye-bye UPS and bye-bye FedEx. Yeah, it's an issue, but that is what we're seeing as of today. Here's the next one. This one's huge. This is what the Trump administration just did yesterday. Look at this. It says Trump targets U.S. sanctuary cities in migrant crackdown. Now, what exactly did Trump do? Because he's already been targeting undocumented immigrants throughout the United States. And according to reports just the other day, we already have like 130-some thousand illegal immigrants have already been deported back to their home countries. Look at this. This is what he signed yesterday. It says Donald Trump signed an executive order Monday to crack down on sanctuary cities that defy his hardline immigration policies. It says the Republican has claimed major progress in honoring his election campaign promises to stem illegal border crossing from Mexico, which soared to an all-time high under President Joe Biden. It says right here, and this is where I've warned you guys. It says the order directs officials to publish within 30 days a list of states and local authorities that obstruct the enforcement of federal immigration laws, saying those named risk losing access to certain government funding. Says Trump will this week be hailing his achievements since returning to the White House. Keep in mind, today is day 100. Goes on to say, but his popularity has plunged since January, with more than 40% of Americans saying they disapprove strongly of him. That's mostly due to the tariffs, though. Goes on to say, Trump spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt on Monday noted a 95% drop in encounters of undocumented migrants at the Mexico border, from 140,000 to 7,000 in the 12 months from March 2024. Yeah, it's a massive change. But this is the bigger threat, is what was said right here, okay? Is that if the states or local authorities are named, they risk losing certain government funding, okay? I've told you this before, that this was on the wall. The writing was on the wall. We knew it was coming, that President Trump was going to withhold funding. Look at this. He's already doing it. It says the Trump administration withholding $436.87 billion in approved spending, according to top Democrats. I want to read a little of this to you. Look right here. It says the frozen allotments span the federal government, according to the first estimate of the potential impoundments in the project led by Senator Patty Murray from Washington and Representative Rosa DeLauro from Connecticut. It says almost $42 billion was frozen or canceled for the State Department, including the frozen support for USAID, along with another $62 billion plus in competitive grants funding for the Transportation Department. It says Democrats also detailed $943 million freeze of the Head Start early education program and more than $10 billion in frozen and canceled funding for the Natural Resources Conservation Service. Keep in mind, President Trump wants to reduce the size of the federal government, wants to really lower the cost. Well, by doing so, he's freezing funding. He's telling states and local authorities, do what I tell you to do, or you risk not receiving some of this funding. That's what's going to happen. Okay? And again, the writing's been on the wall. It's nothing new. We knew it was going to happen, and well, it has. The threats have been made. Now, talking about threats, here's another one. And I really want to talk about this one because over the past few months, President Trump has brought up trying to combine the United States and Canada, and that Canada would be the perfect 51st state. Well, there was a little bit of a blow to his plan. Look at this right here. It says Canada election 2025 live. Carney vows Trump will never break us after win as rival Poilievre set to lose seat. It says in a remarkable victory in the Canadian election, the Liberals are projected to win more seats than Pierre Poilievre Conservative Party, but it isn't clear yet if they will secure an outright majority. Now, because of Carney winning this election, or it's pretty much called for him, because of him winning, that's going to put more pressure on President Trump. Carney is not going to play the games that President Trump wants. So it's going to be pretty much a head-to-head battle between the United States and Canada moving forward. Okay? Carney said that the United States will never take us. Okay? And they will not break us. Yeah. So just understand, it's going to be a little bit of a battle moving forward. But we'll be able to see what happens. We'll be here together and we'll fight it. See what happens. Here's the last one. And I thought this was interesting because a lot of people are, shop. Look at this. It says some Amazon sellers are pulling out of Prime Day amid Trump tariffs. Now, Prime Day, you usually get all these great deals. Items are 30% off, 40% off, 50% off. And you get some like flash deals where you got, 12 hours to purchase this item. Or certain Prime sellers will say, okay, I have 1,000 items I'm selling for this price, 30% off. As soon as those 1,000 items are gone, they're gone, and then we go back to a normal price. It's those flash deals. So for me personally, I love Prime Day. I love going on, seeing, are there anything in my list of items that I want to purchase? Is there anything that's on sale? Again, I hate buying something if it's not on sale. Okay? So I'll go and look on Prime Day. Okay, these are the items. This is what we're going to get. Okay, great. Here's the problem. I want to read this to you, though. It says right here, sellers are reluctant to commit to Prime Day discounts amid tariffs, Some are decreasing deals for Prime Day or pulling out altogether. And third-party sellers accounted for 62% of units sold on Amazon in Q4. Most people think Amazon's the largest seller in the world. Okay, they're not. Amazon has a massive platform, right? Their website, but as far as who's selling the products, in most cases, it's a third-party seller. You look at their listing, you look at the sales page, and under the products that you're buying, it will say sold by Amazon, okay, or ships by Amazon, sold by XYZ supplier. XYZ supplier is a third-party seller, okay. That's where the majority of Amazon's products come from, is a third-party seller. Somebody like me that will ship, certain products to Amazon. Amazon will fulfill it using what they call FBA, or fulfilled by Amazon, and it'll ship it to the customer. So you never know it's coming from me, but a lot of products do. So that's where we're at. Third-party sellers are simply pulling out of Prime Day because of tariffs. I talked to a friend of mine just the other day. He was like, what do you think of this product? He wants to sell it. I was like, it's a good product, not too expensive. I think it was like $5.20 or something like that per product. I go, okay, great. It sells for $30, $40, sometimes $50 on Amazon. That's great, right? It's a good product. It will be profitable. But how much are tariffs? He's like, well, I don't know. Well, you got to look at that. Okay, tariffs are going to be like $3 to $4. Okay. So understand, if it's $3 to $4 for this product, because of tariffs, got to add that into your cost. Yeah, that's what sellers are doing right now, and they're realizing their profit margins are shrinking. As they do, that means less deals for you. That means less products are also available. So I'll leave you with that, but as of right now, there's a lot of things happening. A lot of major changes are going on as we speak, but the one thing that I do promise, and I've seen a lot of people asking for this, is can you do more of a overall assessment? Can you talk about multiple updates, not just one? Again, I do 3 videos a day here on YouTube, and sometimes I feel like I can't get to every big story. So one of the things I will do is I'll take multiple stories, I'll push them together, do a video just like this one. So if you like video styles like this, please do me a favor and just write in big update in the comment section. Just type big update. Okay, that would be great. So I will leave you with that. But again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.